embrace thy comely corpse in folded arms and kiss thy ancient face.
Thank you. Blank verse, with its 10 syllables, is much closer to the way that we actually talk. In fact, Shakespeare often uses it as a vehicle for naturalistic speech, as in Antonio's "In sooth, I know not why I am so sad." As I've said, blank verse doesn't necessarily lead to anything to do with poetry, though it often does. Its natural bias is, I believe, towards the naturalistic. I said that a blank verse line normally goes de-dum, 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 de-dum. But actually, with Shakespeare, that often isn't true. It sometimes does, but perhaps more often it doesn't. Mike, give us a line that doesn't.
Once more unto the breach, dear friends, once more.
Now try to scan it as an iambic pentameter.
Once more unto the breach, dear friends, once more.
Which is totally unnatural. Obviously, it's not written that way, so how do the stresses come naturally?
Once more unto the breach, dear friends, once more.
7 strong stresses. What is Shakespeare doing there? Well, we can ask ourselves what Henry V is doing. What's his intention? To persuade his soldiers to go back into the breach. A tired, out-of-breath leader desperately trying to reach out to and rally his men. And the strongly overstressed lines reinforce this. It's what I'd call a piece of direction by Shakespeare. Do it again.
Once more unto the breach, dear friends, once more, or close the wall up with our English dead.
Good. Now, the point I want to make is that blank verse as such is neutral. Shakespeare gets his dramatic effects by setting up a norm and then significantly breaking it. Where he breaks that norm, an added stress is provided. Let's take the speech now a few lines further.
Once more unto the breach, dear friends, once more, or close the wall up with our English dead.
Walls up, stressed.
In peace, there's nothing so becomes a man.
A regular line.
As modest stillness and humility.
Also pretty regular.
But when the blast of war blows in our ears...
Blows especially stressed there.
Then imitate the action of the tiger.
Pretty regular with a feminine ending.
Stiffen the sinews, summon up the blood.
Stiffen and summon, strongly stressed on the offbeat position, part of Henry's pleading.
Disguise fair nature with hard, favoured rage.
And there's an antithesis between fair and hard-favoured by put in the offbeat position.
John, don't you think you better explain what you mean by antithesis?
Quite right. It's a key word, and we're going to come up against it a great deal. By antithesis, I mean the setting of one word against another. Disguise fair nature with hard-favoured rage. The setting up is of one word against its opposite meaning. For instance, to be or not to be. You see now how it works. The iambic pentameter, de-dum, 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 is the norm which Shakespeare keeps more or less going back to, but an extra stress is provided by putting the stressed word in an offbeat rather than the normal position. So we get the rhythm dum-dee rather than de-dum. Counterpoint. It's like in contrapuntal music. So we can say Shakespeare uses blank verse by first setting up a norm and then significantly breaking it.
There's a very heavily stressed line in Winter's Tale of Paulina where Leontes is questioning the goodness of Hermione, and he says mockingly, "Good queen," and